My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Jesus, in a single sentence, you gave the apostles a master class on how to go about their mission and flourish in society. You said to them, "Behold, I am sending you like sheep in the midst of wolves. So be shrewd as serpents and simple as doves." What a fascinating and at the same time puzzling recipe. Shrewd and simple. In the first place, shrewd as serpents. We think immediately of the virtue of prudence. That is, the ability to assess a situation accurately and to determine how to act. As one writer put it, the prudent person is the one who constructs the whole of his or her life in accordance with the voice of a well-formed conscience and the demands of sound morals. Well, Lord, the type of shrewdness you want for us requires formation. After all, we want to live our lives in a way that is pleasing to you. And that means attuning our intellects and wills to the demands of your holiness. We need a well-formed conscience. We need to know what the demands of sound morals are. Prudence has three moments or acts: to seek counsel, to judge rightly, and to decide. In the first place, asking for advice. This takes humility. How easy it is to think that we don't need anyone's input. What a shame to forego learning from another's experience. Someone was telling recently about his younger sister, who started working for a large corporation, and one day spoke with a woman who had been working there for 40 years, who was about to retire. The young one said to the veteran, "May I buy you lunch?" "Certainly." And over lunch, the young one said, "You've been here for 40 years. I'd be so grateful if you could give me the benefit of your experience, the things that I should work on, the things to avoid." The veteran looked at her and said, "You know, in 40 years, you are the first person to ask me. Thank you for that." We need to ask for advice. Jesus, give me the gift of a healthy distrust of my judgment. Don't let me shut myself off from another's wisdom, simply because I have an exaggerated confidence in my own judgment. You may recall the quip that is attributed to Mark Twain. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he had learned in 7 years. After seeking advice and informing ourselves, we need to judge rightly, prudently, especially when it comes to important decisions. Those must be made in God's presence. After all, the only thing that matters is to live our lives as God wants. This is especially important with respect to life-changing decisions. In those cases, we need to take time to reflect, to give our soul space. There are those who plunge head over heels into decisions and actions without proper reflection. That is not the shrewdness that you mean, Jesus. That is rashness. How often rashness leads to decisions that produce unfortunate and long-lasting results. The third act of prudence is execution. Once we decide on the action to take, we need to carry out the plan without delay, without dithering. Saint Josemaria was a man of great prudence. In the early months of the Spanish Civil War, he was desperate to obtain a diplomatic visa in order to escape assassination. During those horrendous days of 1936 and 1937, the young priest prayed, and at the same time acted with great decision. He asked someone who was able to move about freely to visit various embassies to obtain a visa. That person ran into one brick wall after another. St. Josemaria said to him, "Look, those bureaucrats, they always say no, to get rid of those who are a pain in the neck. But if they want to, they can fix it. After all, their job is to fix whatever is the most broken." Well, the person tried again, came back with another no, to which St. Josemaria said, "I know that you are doing all that you can, and I am very grateful. But you need to do more than you can." Well, this way of acting brings to mind that advice of St. Augustine. Pray as though everything depended on God, and work as though everything depended on you. Lord, you also want us to be simple as doves. Knowing you, it is clear that you do not want us to be naive, excessively nice, easy to manipulate. St. Teresa of Avila, who was certainly shrewd as a serpent, points us in the right direction when she says, "You must practice simplicity and humility, for these are the virtues that achieve everything." Simplicity as opposed to complication, inhibition, a lack of spontaneity, intoxication with complexity. Simplicity goes hand in hand with humility. It makes us forget ourselves. We show ourselves as we are without trying to make an impression. The path to simplicity lies in breaking the mirror, so to speak, not allowing our thoughts to revolve around ourselves, not wondering what people think of us. Even worse, giving free rein to our imagination, basking in delusions of grandeur, or on the contrary, gripped by the fear of being ridiculed. In the workplace, simplicity and humility will lead us to be open to input. Let's face it, we can always improve. A great question to ask ourselves: when my supervisor points out aspects of my work that can be improved, am I grateful and open to that input? Or on the contrary, do my lips start to quiver and do I become resentful? Jesus, thank you for this masterful guide to imitating you. Give us the grace to make you ever more present to those around us by teaching us how to be shrewd as serpents and simple as doves. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help in putting them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.